Imagine being the greatest golfer to ever pick up a club, having survived a near-fatal leg injury and multiple back surgeries, only to find yourself kneeling on a Florida lawn being told you're under arrest for DUI while you explain that you were just on the phone with the president. That is the surreal, heart-wrenching reality that dropped into our feeds over the last 72 hours. We aren't just looking at another celebrity mugshot. We are watching the raw, unedited bodycam footage of a legend in a state of total disorientation. This isn't the Tiger we see at the Masters in a Sunday red polo. This is a 50-year-old man struggling to keep his eyes open in the back of a squad car. The factual breakdown of this disaster at Jupiter Island is a lot more complex than a simple car accident. On the afternoon of March 27, 2026, Tiger Woods was driving his Land Rover at a high rate of speed when he attempted to maneuver around a truck pulling a trailer. He clipped the back of that trailer, causing his SUV to flip over. When the Martin County Sheriff's deputies arrived, they found a scene that looked like a movie set: a flipped luxury vehicle and a global icon crawling out of the passenger window. According to the newly released video, Tiger was remarkably calm but clearly impaired. He told the officers, "I looked down at my phone, and all of a sudden, boom." He blamed the crash on a split-second distraction, checking his phone and changing the radio station, but the officers on the scene noticed something deeper. In the footage, you see Deputy Tatiana Levinar conducting a field sobriety test. Tiger is limping significantly, wearing a compression sock over his right knee, and explaining that he's had 7 back surgeries and over 20 operations on his leg. But it wasn't just the physical struggle that raised red flags, it was the glassy eyes and the fact that he kept nodding off. When they searched him, they found 2 white pills in his pocket. Tiger immediately identified them as Norco, a powerful opioid painkiller. While he blew a 0.00 on the breathalyzer, his refusal to provide a urine sample at the jail has triggered a separate misdemeanor charge under Florida's strict new refusal laws. The transition from accident victim to DUI suspect happened in a flash. 1 minute, Tiger is leaning against a police cruiser, finishing a phone call with Donald Trump, casually saying, "Bye, you got it," as if he's leaving a boardroom meeting, and the next he's being handcuffed. Public reaction has been a mix of deep empathy and here we go again fatigue. Viral clips of Tiger yawning and hiccuping in the patrol car have become the focal point of a massive social media debate. One side of the internet is pointing to his history of painkiller use and his 2021 near-fatal crash, arguing that this is a man who has been crying for help through his driving for nearly a decade. The other side is strictly focused on the Trump twist, debating whether his boast about being on the phone with the former president was a sign of his elite status or a symptom of his mental fog in the moment. Context from past controversies is unavoidable here. We remember the 2009 Thanksgiving fire hydrant incident. We remember the 2017 arrest where he was found asleep at the wheel with 5 different drugs in his system. This newest footage feels like a haunting part 3 to a story we all hoped had a happy ending. This situation escalated so rapidly because it effectively ended his 2026 season before the Masters could even begin. He was supposed to be at Augusta National next week, unveiling a course redesign and potentially accepting the Ryder Cup captaincy. Instead, the PGA of America has already pulled that offer, and Tiger has released a statement saying he is stepping away indefinitely to seek treatment and focus on his health. What this says about our modern influencer and celebrity culture is that the comeback is a dangerous narrative. For years, the media has pushed the idea that Tiger is superhuman, that he can overcome any physical trauma through sheer willpower. But this bodycam footage is a brutal reminder that he is human. He's a man dealing with chronic, debilitating pain, and the system of professional sports often prioritizes the gift over the soul. Original commentary from analysts suggests that Tiger's reputation as an unbreakable icon is finally being replaced by the reality of a man in a cycle of dependency. By announcing he's seeking treatment, he's acknowledging that he can't swing his way out of this one. How does this affect his reputation? In a weird way, it might be the thing that finally humanizes him for good. The Tiger Woods brand has always been about perfection and stoicism. But seeing him yawn and nod off in a police car, a state he called astonished when the handcuffs went on, strips away the armor. It forces the public to confront the reality of the opioid crisis, even at the highest levels of success. However, the refusal to take the urine test is a significant black mark on his legal standing. It suggests he was careful in what he said and didn't say, as the sheriff put it, which complicates the "I'm just on prescription meds" defense. We have to separate the confirmed details from the online theories. It is a confirmed fact that he had Norco in his pocket. It is a confirmed fact that he passed the breathalyzer. The online theories, however, are speculating about the high speed and whether he was actually in a fugue state during the crash. Some people are theorizing that his Trump call was a hallucination, though the police verified he was indeed on a call before they approached him. There's also a theory that this was a suicide attempt masked as an accident, given the high speed and the rollover, but there is zero evidence in the police report to support such a dark claim. Tiger has been cooperative, though careful not to incriminate himself further. The pacing of this development has been dynamic, moving from the shock of the boom in the video to the slower, more somber reality of his statement about seeking treatment. It feels like a funeral for his professional career, at least for the foreseeable future. The dynamic shift in his tone in the video, from casually talking to a president to asking, "I'm being arrested," with a voice full of disbelief, is the most human thing we've seen from him in years. This leads us to a bigger industry question. Why is the Tiger Woods story so repetitive? We are watching a 50-year-old man repeat the mistakes of his 30s and 40s. Is the legend, status, so heavy that it prevents these stars from seeking help until they literally hit a wall? The future impact of this arrest is already clear. No Masters, no Ryder Cup, and a wide-open question about whether he will ever play professional golf again. The unresolved tension here is the treatment he's seeking. Will this be a true turning point, or is it a PR-mandated hiatus to let the heat die down? The upcoming response possibility from his legal team is what we're waiting for next. As he prepares to face a judge for DUI and refusal of a test, the world's greatest golfer is currently just another defendant in a Florida courtroom. The boom he described wasn't just the sound of his Land Rover flipping over, it was the sound of his latest comeback hitting a dead end. Whether he can find a way to crawl out of this rollover and finally find some peace is the only story that matters now. Do you think the PGA was right to pull the Ryder Cup captaincy so quickly, or should they have waited for the legal process to play out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.